Okay, Christina here to listen to some music, and today's music selection is Moondance by Van Morrison. So, as far as I know, I don't know this artist. I think I've heard the name before, but I don't think I know anything else. Preparing for this reaction, I did look up a little bit, so I know he is from Ireland, and this song came out in 1970, and it is the namesake of the full album, which I am considering doing the full album reaction to Moondance. We'll have to see. It's on my short list for now. It was also the first place winner of the poll for Van Morrison songs. The polls for what I react to on the channel, and also other full albums and exclusive reactions and behind the scenes and all that stuff, that is available on Patreon and, like I said, for channel members. So come join us over in those places if you wish. But for right now, why else are we here? I am a professional, classically trained musician, instrumentalist, vocalist, composer, and professor. So we dive into this music and take a look at how it was composed, the instrumentation, maybe some music theory and form and analysis, possibly some instrument demos, and of course, how do we relate to this music? Why do we like it so much? Or why do we not like it? So, enough delay for now. Let's listen. Okay, here we go.
Well, it's a marvelous night for a moon dance with the stars up above in your eyes. A fantabulous night to make romance neath the cover of October skies. You know the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. You know I'm trying to please to the calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low. You know the night's magic seems to whisper and hush. You know the soft moonlight seems to shine in your blush. Can I just have one more moon dance with you, oh, my love? Can I just make some more romance with you, oh, my love? Well, I wanna make...
Okay. All right, y'all. I do recognize this. It's familiar to me, but I don't know how or where. Okay. That's super familiar. But I can't place it. It just sort of lives in my mind as a jazz song that's kind of popular and out there. So that's about all I can say it for now. It's really, really cool. Super catchy. I can see why this is sort of a beloved song. The mixing is great. I loved how the guitar and the flute came in over here, and the piano. It's sort of more in the background, but it's still sort of dancing around with the lead vocals. Oh, but I'm going to have to think about where maybe I've experienced this song before. I feel like maybe I've played a version of this on my violin, like in a quartet or something. Oh gosh, I don't know. I think it's just so catchy that some of the lines in it it's just something that we've all kind of heard and can take up space in our brains somewhere. But for this first close-up listen, I'm kind of already hooked. Like I said, it's just really catchy. Super cool. All right. And where are we going? We just barely got started here. Here we go.
Love to you tonight. I can't wait till the morning has come. Yet I know now the time is just right, and straight into my arms you will run. And when you come, my heart will be waiting to make sure that you're never alone. There and then all my dreams will come true, dear. There and then I will make you my own. And every time I touch you, you just tremble inside. Then I know how much you want me that you can't hide. Can I just have one more moon dance with you, my love? Can I just make some more romance with you?
head into solo section, I'll back it up and make sure we catch the whole thing. Hearing the saxophone, hearing more dancing around with the flute this time. I'm hearing the flute interacting directly. I really do love the mixing for this. This is a remastered version, so I'm not sure how much that would affect all of that. Again, it's all very good. I love the character within this piece, as in the individual instruments, how they keep coming up and taking turns sort of dancing with the lead vocalist. And then they also carry their own little quirky little character. So I heard a couple of almost bluesy gestures from the piano. And then the flute is totally trying to get some of the spotlight. We hear the flutter tongue and completely doubling the lead vocals sometimes. It's just all so playful. But then our vocalist here, he has a style all his own. At first you think it's more subdued, but then he goes up into the upper register for the main chorus, the da-da-da-da-da-da, that part, and it takes on a whole new character there. It's a little sassier. It's almost like there's sort of a fight here between being smooth or sassy. And again, it's just very catchy. The hooks really grab you. I'm just barely catching on to the words yet, though. The conversations within the instruments are just sort of taking all of my attention for now. We'll get to the lyrics soon, I promise. Okay, so speaking of what the instruments have to say, we're going to back this up a little bit and get into the instrument solo section, I'm assuming is what this is. We'll see how long it is. You know, jazz, sometimes the solos can go on and on. I don't know. We'll see. Here we go.
Romance with you, oh my love.
Okay, clapping for the soloist there. Piano and saxophone. Excellent. Again, there's a pull between jazz and blues here. I really like all the ornamentation that both instruments were using, and they both complemented each other well. So the pianist was sort of using like chord blocking. That might not be the exact term for that, but built on intervals, like that was the emphasis, like the space between two notes. So I heard a little spot where there were octaves, but then we got into like grace notes and ornamentation, and then before we knew it, we were sort of fluttering all over the place with lots of running notes, and that kept going until it sort of handed it off over to the saxophone, which was all running notes. It was really great. Sometimes that technique in jazz can sort of run away with itself and it gets a little bit notey. But I think this was all very well controlled, which almost is an oxymoron for jazz, but because you want to seem more improv. But I just mean they didn't run away with themselves too much. It was a lot of notes, but we were up for the challenge of accepting all of those notes. But I am just loving the conversations between all the instruments in here. All right, so we're back into the vocals again, and I promise I will go and check out the lyrics. Let's see if I can catch some more. I don't know. If the instruments keep doing their thing, I might not catch the words. All right, so let's hear how this plays out.
It's a marvelous night for a moon dance, with the stars up above in your eyes. A fantabulous night to make a romance, near the cover of October skies. All the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow, and I'm trying to place to the calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low. In all the night's magic seems to whisper and hush, in all the soft moonlight seems to shine in your blush. Can I just have one more moon dance with you, oh my love? Or can I just make some more romance with you, oh my love? One more moon dance with you in the moonlight on a magic night. The moonlight on a magic night. Can I just have one moment dance with you, my love?
Okay, I love a good unifying motif or gesture, and wow, does this deliver. So the fluttering, oh my goodness. And just when you didn't think that they would attempt any more, then they went over the top. Was it too much? No, it was good. It was good. So what I mean by that are the more ornamentations, like da-da-da-dum, the little trills, and you heard it in the piano. You heard a little bit with the saxophone, and how they would sort of glissando up, rum, da-da-da-dum, up to a note. And then, of course, the trills and the flute. And then our vocalist did something interesting there towards the end. Not sure what it was, but it was kind of cool. I dig it. And it was absolutely in communication with the instruments. So the fact that he is going in and out of being the spokesperson with the lyrics and then coming in and having the instrumental conversations with the other musicians. I love that. Love it. Okay. Lyrics-wise, I picked up on romance, love, dancing in the moonlight, Moondance. But I'm not sure if this is meaning to get swept away in a wonderful romance or if there's angst within the romance, because I think it could go either way. Like the jazz could be there for the connection and the love in the romance, but then the blues part almost, singing the blues, like there's something to maybe not be so pleased with, so happy with. I don't know. At this point, I think it could go either way. Because, love can sort of make your heart beat just as much for good reasons as for bad reasons. So let's check out the lyrics. See if we can figure a little bit more of this out. Well, it's a marvelous night for a moon dance, with the stars up above in your eyes. A fantabulous night, I thought maybe I heard that word, to make romance neath the cover of October skies. Okay, so there was that bit at the end about the leaves falling. Interesting, for October. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, that's the next line. All the leaves on the trees are falling. Okay, at the end, that line somehow must have come back. And then there was, what was it? Was it the piano that did it? No, it was the flute, talking about the leaves falling and then the breeze that takes it away and the flute and so love a good translation musically of an action like that. Okay, so and all the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. I'm trying to please to the calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low. You know the night's magic seems to whisper and hush. Ooh, this is magical, isn't it? Moondance. Yeah, it is magical. You know the soft moonlight seems to shine in your blush. Can I just have one more moon dance with you, my love? Can I just make some more romance with a you, my love? So what kind of dance are we talking about here? Well, I want to make love to you tonight. All right. I can't wait till the morning has come. You know, I know now the time is just right, and straight into my arms you will run. Okay. And when you come, my heart will be waiting to make sure that you're never alone. See, this isn't just like physical love. This is emotional love, I think, anyway. I mean, it's very magical, so I'm hoping he means it. Okay, again, very romantic. There and then all my dreams will come true, dear. There and then I will make you my own. And every time I touch you, you just tremble inside. And I know how much you want me. That you can't hide. Oof, okay. So yeah, this is full of romance, all different kinds of it. And so is he meaning that this is a short-term romance or rendezvous, or is this more about a lifetime of love? I don't know. I think it could be interpreted either way, and it's sort of up to the listener. But to me, for sure, romance, in whatever version of it you choose, romance is sort of the call to the magic of this piece. Okay, and so how it's familiar to me, I think that maybe, gosh, this would have been like almost 20 years ago, that I may have played a string quartet version of this. So I would have been playing one of the two violin lines. I'm not sure if I would have been on first violin or second violin for that. I don't know. There's something about the main chorus part with the offbeat drive there that for some reason is seeming really familiar. Like I can really see it on the page, like I've maybe seen it and played it before. I mean, when I'm listening to all of this music, I sort of write it out in score form on the page in my head as I'm listening. But this one, it was super vivid. I don't know, though. I would think that this would stand out in my mind a little bit more if it was a piece that I played in a string quartet. But I mean, I've been a string quartet musician for decades, and so I've played, hundreds and hundreds of different pieces. But I would think this would stand out more. And maybe why it didn't is because it might be kind of difficult to capture in an arrangement for a string quartet. I don't know if it would resonate quite the same way. I mean, you can certainly make a string quartet sound romantic and smooth and jazzy and get into the blues and whatever you want, but it can be a good challenge. So this would be a fantastic challenge. Maybe I should challenge myself to try it. But for now, let's go back to the beginning and see how we started. I think it was pretty consistent all the way through. I love the bass line there.
Well, it's a marvelous night for a moon dance.
Okay. All right. This is going to be the kind of song where every time you listen to it, you notice something new. The bass line is embodying the entire piece right from the beginning. So it has the smoothness, a little bit of improv, unpredictability in it, and hints of ornamentation, and then rests put in, alluding to the syncopation and offbeat stuff that's coming up later. Fantastic. Fantabulous. Let's hear it again. Just that.
Well, it's a marvelous night
there, see the rest?
Moon dance with the stars up above in your eyes.
Yeah, so working a couple of notes in between, a little bit chromatic notes in between. Da 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 dum bum. And then the yum bum, having the rests in there. You're used to hearing the sustained dum dum bum 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 ba da dum bum ba ba, and then all of a sudden there's that little break in there. I'm also really starting to enjoy the drum work here. So I'll have to check out who are the studio music. Are they studio musicians, or again, does he have a band that's with him? Is he a solo artist? Is that his name? Van Morrison? Okay, again, I don't know this artist. So please, if you know, please let me know in the comments. Just help me learn more about this person, this group, these musicians. And then we can also learn a little bit more here about some of that character. So I mentioned that the instruments were taking on their own little sassy characters. I think I first noticed it in the piano, but there I noticed it in the bass. That was happening from the very beginning. I just didn't catch it until I went back. But again, something new every time you hear this. But let's move ahead and hear some of the sassiness from the piano.
I'm trying to please to the calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low. You know the night's magic seem to whisper and hush. You know the soft moonlight seems to shine in your blush.
Love it. Okay, the chords in there, like the flute's up here and you hear the sax down below, and it's just really like deciding to voice those instruments on those particular notes out of each jazz chord. It's really compelling. What a fun musical adventure this is. And of course, then we have the catch, the hooks, right? So that we just heard, bum, 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 bum. Really cool. But then this next part, let's hear it.
Can I just have one more moon dance with you, my love? Can I just make
All right, right there I'm hearing the flute, da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum. I'm hearing the flute and the sax like in unison, doing the same thing. They're an octave apart, but they're going in the same direction. And I think later on I heard them going in retrograde, in opposite direction. Let's see if we can find where they're doing that later on.
Your place. Can I just have one more moon dance with you, my love? Can I just make some more romance with you?
Okay. No, they're still in unison there. The issue is that they're going in retrograde with the voice. Okay. The layers in this are really complex. I love it. It's even messing up my ear. I love a good challenge. Because then the flute and the saxophone, they're sort of brought forward more, but the piano goes like forward and back. And it catches you by surprise. And then it gets one of the solo spots in the middle. But really, one really cool thing there, again, is the direction of both the flute and the saxophone going in that direction when the lead vocals are going in the opposite direction. I loved that motion. That contradictory motion. There was something very harmonically satisfying about it. Okay, so I want to get to the sassy flute coming in for the falling leaves and the breeze, because it was also fantabulous.
Fabulous night to make romance. Do the cover of October skies. Allow the leaves on the trees are falling.
The
to
leaves.
the sound of the breezes that blow.
Breeze. That's the sound of the breeze that blows.
On your heartstrings that play soft and low.
Oh.
In all the night's magic.
So then the flute kind of went down in a few lower notes for the heartstrings that are so low. I really like that literal musical translation. That was a lot of fun. Okay, and then later on, when all of the fluttering and the ornamentation really sort of went wild, it was even more fun. Great way to end this tune.
my love. One more moon dance with you in the moonlight.
See, more trills.
On a magic night.
Okay. Okay. See, he was doing it too.
On a magic night. Can I just have one moment dance with you, my love?
See, the flute and the saxophone trilling together there at the end on excellent. So I love the tag that happens, and it pulls from motifs that happen throughout the piece, but then you kind of get your individual last little character in the piece there at the very end. Excellent way to end this song. Okay, that was Moondance by Van Morrison, and that was a lot of fun. I loved the complexity of the song, the layers of the instruments and how they spoke to one another, how they drew from one another, and how so many characters and personalities were brought out in this. Again, it was very romantic and also very sassy. As a singer, he also was a bit experimental and unpredictable, including at the end, his own little version of like the vocal trill. It almost sounded like his teeth were chattering. Maybe that's like the trembling, right? That he spoke about. Okay, I can absolutely see why this song is popular. And so, is this style of music, is it all strictly like jazz? Is this what the whole album is like? I still don't really know like what style and genre Van Morrison is. But if the rest of the music is fun like this, then hey, I can't wait. It is, though, rather catchy, isn't it? Is this going to end up being one of the songs where you like it the first time, you like it like the many times when you first hear it, but then it kind of gets old kind of fast? I don't know yet. I don't know. Well, I'm definitely willing to put this on my playlist. So I will be listening to it, and I will see if I get tired of it or not. I hope I don't. Oh, but my interest is piqued at this point to find out what the rest of this album is like. Okay, so don't forget to do all the things, like and subscribe. And again, you can find me on Patreon or become a channel member, and you get access to all of that other extra fun stuff and take part in the music community. Again, we're having a great time. But for now, just always remember that you don't have to be perfect. Just be okay. And keep listening.